How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to wait a few moments and just make sure we get some viewers on, and then we can just start chatting it up.
All right.
How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. We had our quarterly town hall today at corporate via Zoom. So getting caught up on all the events and everything that's been going on in the last quarter. So it's always good to see the faces. You don't see all the faces anymore. So it's good to have. I think we had like a 250 person Zoom.
Wow. Any
Any
technical challenges with that?
Just people's home internets not being. So sometimes people's connection is not great.
Right.
So when they're like hosting part of the presentation, it can be it can be hit or miss depending on the quality and how you have your home network set up.
Right.
But it was good to see all the faces.
Everybody's working from home, so it's like
clogging
up all the lines, right? Which is
causing so we went from a 90% office-based company to within 1 week 100% remote-based.
No way. That is a crazy number.
So the only people that were remote prior to what's going on now were the regional sales people, and some like management positions that were in other regions. But all of operations were all under one roof at our corporate office in Northridge. And so within 1 week, we got everybody up, mobile, and working from home. So it's pretty incredible with the size of us and how fast we were able to do it.
That's what I was about to ask. What is the size?
So right now we're at about 250, 260 employees.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hiring more all the time to keep up with, the growing need. Because, I think I read somewhere that there was like a very small percentage of the overall phone users who have adopted a hosted technology. I think it was like 10-20% of adoption so far. So that's like 80% of organizations are on an analog based phone system. And if you're on an analog based phone system right now, you're scrambling to figure out a way to enable your workforce to work from home because they can't go to the office. So we're seeing a lot of people needing services in a much shorter time frame than we typically expect. So we're always ramping up, adding more people all the time.
Wow. Well, now that we've been on for a few minutes, a minute or two, tell everybody who you are, what you do for Broadvoice.
Yeah, I'm Michael Farkas Jones. I am sales engineer here at Broadvoice. I've been with the company for going on 8 years, and I handle basically the western half of the country in terms of sales support. I facilitate product demonstrations, product research, solution designing, and just really enjoy being in the telecom industry.
So you've been there for how long? How long have you been there again?
Almost 8 years.
8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you noticed since this whole COVID-19 went down? What changes have you noticed with the MSP space and the end user space?
Well, so the MSP is really who we focus on. We're a channel-driven sales organization. So we've definitely noticed they have a need to not only continue to onboard new clients and existing clients, but also get them onboarded quicker. So we've also noticed that a lot of times they're not going to be hardware. So we've made special allowances because of that to do things like 48-hour turnaround. So that's one of the big things that we're offering our partner community right now is the ability to turn around new orders and get them activated in 48 hours. As long as there's no hardware or no porting, we can get services up and running in 48 hours. We can do it. I've seen in some instances in 3 hours.
Wow.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. Also, too, even our partners that had our service already or had clients that have our services already, they were for those clients that weren't using the remote aspect of our service for those clients that weren't leveraging the online portion of it, they were just using the desk phone. We had to do stuff to help them, enable them to get access to be able to work from home. So one of the things that we've done is we have made the Broadvoice communicator, which is our unified communications tool, allows for chat, SMS, video calling, soft phone feature. It used to be only available to the Pro seat, but in response to what's going on, we've made that available to every seat type across the board. So every Broadvoice user has the ability to make and receive calls from wherever they are, be it the mobile app, be it our desktop communicator, be it a desk phone they brought to their home office. So we have to make sure that they're ready to go.
And can they use any of those services through the mobile app specifically, or is it just desktop?
Yeah, no, they can definitely leverage the mobile app. We have one available for Android and iPhone, so you can stay connected if that's your preferred method of using the telephone is the cell. Then that cell phone app would definitely be a great fit for you. In response to what else is going on, we have also launched the ability to video call through our Broadvoice communicator. So if you would like to chat with your members of your team internally, you can actually turn that into a video call. You can conference up to 12 users. It is by default a internal video calling, but you do have the ability to invite external participants. So once the meeting is created, you can then share out a link to external users who can then join in from a desktop browser. No mobile browser support quite yet. It is still in beta. But if you are on a desktop, you can join as an external participant.
Right. We've got some questions. You want to tackle some of these questions?
Yeah. So Alex says, are you guys noticing an increase in VoIP sales from this COVID event? And strangely enough, yes, actually. So what I've found is the customers out there who are not in a position to work remote, which is the vast majority of organizations still in the market, are reaching out to their consultants, their MSPs, and asking for guidance from them. So we've actually seen quite an uptick in the number of sales overall, and not only that, but the desired implementation window. People are looking to move on this a lot quicker to be able to give their workforce access to work from home.
That's good. I mean, they definitely need that right now, especially right now. So. Explain how you guys deliver hardware services.
So our services are based in the cloud. So we have the soft phones, we have the mobile apps, we have all the web communication, but we also do deliver desk phones. We partner with Polycom to provide the new VVX series of phones. So that is just an endpoint. It's not a requirement of the service. If you would rather leverage soft phones, if you'd rather leverage other endpoints, you can do so, but we have the Polycoms. We also can provide SD-WAN equipment to help prioritize voice traffic. We can also provide a VeloCloud device to help aggregate bandwidth to make sure that the customer is getting the most bandwidth for their buck, so to speak. And we also provide switches. We do free shipping of all the hardware that we provide anywhere in the continental U.S.
Very cool. And now, how expedited is that shipping? Does it just depend on the customer and their needs?
Yeah, so we do I believe standard ground shipping for all non-rush orders, and we do have expedite procedures that we can apply to get them, in some cases overnighted, depending on when the order is made, obviously. But yeah, so we can expedite that if need be. And then with the COVID response too, like I mentioned, we are able to turn up new orders with no hardware in 48 hours. And to answer the question, yes, every phone and piece of hardware that we provide comes pre-configured to the best of our knowledge. Meaning, if you give us, specific instructions for each line of every single phone, that will be programmed on your behalf before they're shipped out. If it's a 12-line phone and you give us 3 lines, we're just going to leave, the other 9 blank for you to play with. But whatever information that you need us to pre-program, we'll have that preset for you before you log into your account and before you open the box to your phone. As soon as you plug it in, it'll be ready to go, labeled with your extension and already ready with all your customizations, your speed dials, and any programming features you've requested from us.
It makes it very easy.
Yeah, we try to make it as smooth as possible. And then probably the biggest thing that we've done in response to the COVID-19 is we have really fast-tracked our Microsoft Teams integration. So as you know, Microsoft Teams is a great collaboration tool from Microsoft. It allows for file sharing, video calling, video conferencing. You can use WebRTC to make calls within your organization. But what you have to additionally configure is the ability to make calls outside of your organization. I know there are a couple of different ways you can do that. You can do that through Microsoft. They have their own PBX that they can provide. I can tell you though, it is very new for them. So the support is not as robust and extensive as you'd find from a provider that specializes in that phone service. Also too, they don't have the same sort of features that you have in terms of call flow, ring groups, queues, things of that nature. So when you leverage the integration with Broadvoice and Teams, you get the benefit of all of our hosted services like auto attendance, like ring groups, like call queues. But then you're also using Teams as your phone endpoint. So now that we've been, remote working, I pretty much use Teams for all of my day-to-day activities. I use it to communicate with my coworkers. I use it to make calls to our partners, to our customers, and I use it for all the collaboration that I need. And then if I'm on the go, the integration also goes down into the mobile app. So if you're on the road, you can leverage the Teams mobile app to make and receive calls on behalf of your Broadvoice number as well.
Good. So Alex Payne wants to know if there's going to be any integration with ConnectWise.
So the integrations that we currently have on the platform are our Salesforce integration, which was just launched recently as well, our Teams integration, and the next step is going to be a developer center to hopefully expose those APIs to allow you to connect to third-party applications such as ConnectWise, such as Zendesk, things of that nature. But I do not believe there is any direct plans to have a ConnectWise integration right now.
Well, it definitely would be something to consider probably because most MSPs are using ConnectWise. So
yeah, ConnectWise is a big one. I know it is on our radar. I just know that with everything that's going on, a lot of our focus has shifted to the stability and the access of our mobility features. So making sure the communicator is rock solid, making sure that mobile app is functioning the way you want it to, and making sure that Teams integration is providing that difference maker that we want it to.
Right. Going back to the pre-programmed phones, what is it that you send out to the client to fill out to have those phones pre-programmed? Is it something they do online or is it a document?
So there's a couple of things that happen throughout the implementation process. There's an event called a design call where the end user and whoever is managing their network for them, whether they have somebody on site or whether they have their MSP fulfilling that role for them. So we sit down for a design call. We have a called an implementation workbook, and it basically has, like you said, a sheet to fill out all of the user details. So Brandy Reed, extension 101. Here's your email we're going to use for login. Here's your cell phone number that we're going to use to forward your calls to if you don't answer the desk phone. And then here's a list of all the speed dials and program features that she wants added to her phone. So we're going to go through the list. We send that out ahead of time. So if they want to pre-fill any of that information, it's ready for the design call. And then when that design call is ended, the technical implementation specialist takes that information and then personally customizes the account. So the person that you're giving your order details to in terms of phone provisioning, phone programming, is the same individual that's actually performing the work of customizing your account. So there's not that back and forth. There's not, no one's playing the telephone game. You're talking to the actual person who is going to be configuring your account.
Right.
So Alex has a question about MSP. So yeah, so we do have evergreen commission. We partner with our master agent partners. I believe in this case it is Sandler, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you work with Sandler, we also have partnerships with Teleris, with Intelisys. So if you wanted to go through any of those masters, they've negotiated very, very lucrative residual rates on the services. So we do, the residual on the MRC. We also have very exciting SPiff promotions right now, where you can receive up to 5x in some circumstances, and then 2x on SIP trunk orders. And then we can have a deck available with all that information sent out to anyone who wants it after the live event.
Yeah, or you can comment here on Facebook and let Michael know that you want it, and he'll reach out to you there as well. So there is a way for the MSPs to make some money off the product. Now, if a client comes in, say I'm an MSP, right, and this client is not using me yet, am I able to still sell your product to them without them signing an MSP agreement with me?
So you have a potential client, but they're not using your MSP services yet, but they want Broadvoice. So yes.
VoIP. So right. Yeah.
So yeah, so we would put you through one of our masters and set you up on a residual plan. You don't have to be an MSP or have that customer be your any sort of contractual relationship. You bring that order to us, and then we pay you residual on that deal as long as they're an active customer.
Got it. So that's definitely at least a foot in some way to make the client contractual, right?
Yeah, and like I said, we're very partner driven. So there's no competition. We don't have a direct team. We have an inside sales force that takes orders from our website and from our hotline. But we do not have a direct team that tracks down leads. So we're not in competition with any of our partners.
Another question I was just curious about with what's going on today with COVID-19. What have you noticed as far as what industries are going remote, mostly going remote? And do you think those industries are probably going to stay remote, or are they going to go back to work as usual, as how it was before?
Yeah, so I feel like every industry except for the medical industry has gone remote. For the most part, at least in Los Angeles, where I'm from, or I'm based out of. And then so what we are seeing though is that some of our clients are actually making the proactive decision to become a mobile workforce. So we have a lot of clients that are in that 5 to 15 range, who at this time really can't carry the burden of an office space. So they're planning on, wanting to stay remote when this is over, to save that costs, to save that overhead on the real estate.
Right. And that's has that been discussed with you personally, or is that just what you're noticing?
No, that's just what I'm noticing, what I'm seeing as trends, what my partners are telling me.
Very cool. Let's see if we have any more questions. None right now. So what, besides what you're already talking about, what's new with Broadvoice, do we have anything else coming up here soon?
So we also just released, I believe I touched on it very briefly earlier, but our Salesforce integration.
Okay.
So the Salesforce integration is something that we've been working for a little while now. We're really proud to finally be able to release it to our consumer base. It is included with the Pro seat. So we have just 2 seat types, standard and Pro. So any Pro user gets instant access to the Salesforce integration, works on Classic and Lightning. What I really like about the Salesforce integration is that it doesn't matter how you're leveraging our service, it will perform the same. So if you're using our mobile app, or if you're using our Teams integration, or if you're using our desktop communicator, you still get the inbound and outbound screen pops. You're still able to set call dispositioning. So whether you have to work from home or work at your office, the Salesforce integration will come with you. So it makes it very easy to work, especially if you're using Salesforce from wherever you're at.
How does one start the process on working with you? Do they just give you a call, send you an email? What's the best way?
So the best way to reach out, you can reach out to me at Farkas@Broadvoice for any requests, and I'll connect you with my channel manager, Yvette Bratt, who is the lady that I support out here in the West. So she would be handling any partner onboardings, pricing discussions, and we'd love to meet and make introductions to anybody that hasn't talked to us yet. Maybe someone that haven't talked to us in a while. Like we just discussed, there's a lot new going on at Broadvoice, a lot that we feel is really exciting, and we'd love to chat with anyone that's interested. So Farkas@broadvoice.com, and I can facilitate that introduction to Yvette.
Perfect. And then you can also email membership@chartec.net, or you can comment on this thread, or you can send us a message. There's so many ways to get a hold of you. So that's great. That's all very exciting. Are you going to be here for our virtual academy in May?
I believe I will be working it in conjunction with Yvette. So we'll be tag teaming it.
Perfect. That's great. It's a really great, it's going to be a really great event. It's going to be very interesting. It'll be our first virtual academy and it's exciting. So we have some fun things in store, and it's, so if you haven't signed up yet for our virtual academy, click the link in the post and register. It is at no cost to all of any MSP who wants to be there, which is really, really great, because most of the time you can't get to Bakersfield. It's kind of hard to do that. So we're bringing it to you at no cost to you. So feel free to join and register. We'll be seeing you there, and we'll have sessions and educational sessions. It'll be great. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we go, Michael?
I just want to hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe, and I hope to talk to you soon. And if not, I'll see you at the CharTec event.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for all the questions. Feel free to continue asking those questions. We're still going to monitor the thread, and we look forward to seeing you May 11th through the 15th. Thanks for joining me today.